So this is the 8.0 Alpine Core Protect, part of our new Core Protect series of ropes. Comes in an 8 mil and a 9.5. Well, 8 mil double ropes, but of course the 9.5 is a single rope. As the name suggests, it's part of our Alpine series, so the idea here is to add cut protection to ropes. So what we did here to provide cut protection is we added a second sheath inside the outer sheath. The inner sheath is made from aramid, which provides, of course, if anyone is familiar with aramid, deep cut protection. It's known under a couple different names, Kevlar or Technora, often used in bulletproof vests, built in or used in canoe construction. It's actually very challenging to even cut it with scissors or a razor blade. It's time consuming. You gotta kind of cut each strand by itself. So what we did was we put a very loose weave made out of the aramid fibers inside the outer sheath. And the idea behind the loose weave is so that you don't denigrate the elasticity of the rope. Because of course, one downside of aramid is it has no stretch whatsoever. So we get around that simply through the weave process. And when you compare the 8.0 or the 9.5 Core Protect ropes to our normal inline standard 9.5 or 8.0 ropes, no noticeable difference in the dynamic element of the rope. It uses our standard weave pattern. It has our dry treatment as well. So, but our testers in the field all around the world have been saying sometimes they pick it up and the only way they can tell the difference is by the color. Handles the same, it feels the same in a fall, it weighs the same. It's different from our sender weave in that it's our standard weave. If you compare that to other ropes in our line, you will see the terms workhorse or sender, which is a much tighter weave, which adds abrasion resistance as well, but it's a 48 bobbin process instead of a 40 bobbin process. So that requires a little more R&D in the development. The machines are more expensive, and so you end up with a significantly more expensive rope. We felt that in this rope, because it already has the core protection, that the added abrasion resistance wasn't the priority, and what we wanted to do was to make this rope approachable for people because we want more and more climbers to have peace of mind. The 8 mil rope is rated for half rope or twin rope usage. So to break that down, you could either clip them into the same piece of protection, or you could switch off and clip one rope into one and one rope into another piece of protection, versus the 9.5, which is a single rated rope, so intended to be used by itself, no other rope in the same carabiner at the same time. For me, the way I climb, especially the 9.5 rope in my quiver, if I'm going to a crag I've never been to before, or I'm trying maybe a longer multi-pitch route that I don't really have much beta on, I would much prefer to take a Core Protect rope. So if I find myself in a situation climbing around an arete or maybe over a roof that it could have a sharp edge, it's one of those things, it adds a lot of peace of mind for me personally, and makes me more willing to try hard moves in precarious scenarios. They're both called Core Protect. We try to name our ropes pretty logically, so we have that extra sheath to protect the core. So the 8 mil comes in two colors, so that you can have your double ropes in separate colors. We have it in 30, 40, 50, and 60 meter. And then the 9.5 is offered in one color currently, and that is available in 60 and 70 meter. At 60 meters, we have the 8 mil double rope for $239.95 and the 9.5 single rope for $289.95. Both the 9.5 and the 8 mil have dyed middle markers. UIA standard for dry treatment is to absorb less than 5% of its body weight in water, and our dry treatments all test to either 1.5% or 2%. I believe in the case of this rope, it's actually 2%, which is partially due to the addition of the aramid. That's we lose that 0.5%, but we're happy to say it's still less than half of the UIA standard. We are in the midst of converting all of our ropes to a PFC-free dry treatment. So Spring 25 will be releasing PFC-free dry treated ropes. And then over the next couple of years, you'll see more and more diameters added to that family until the regular dry treatment just disappears.